Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Anmol Astrology channel. I have been late for posting videos, I know that. I'm just super lazy. Let's be honest, I am lazy. So this video will be about, no, first of all, let me ask you all, how are you guys doing, because these times are very crucial for everyone, especially for India, because COVID has done a lot of things. COVID has spreaded all over India and it is affecting the country on a whole. So I hope all of you are wearing the masks and staying at home. It is very necessary to stay at home. And if we talk, a lot of people have been texting me about giving out predictions for COVID, and my answer will be that I seriously don't want to do that. I don't want to predict about COVID anymore, because it's a lot to intake when you see anything negative through stars, and you already see the situation is so worse right now. And I think that affects a lot of psychology of people, and of course me also being an astrologer. So I think it's better if we keep it that way, because Jupiter and Saturn are again coming back. They are going to go retrograde. They are going to bring back the results which were in the last year. So I don't see anything more positive for 2 to 3 months more. So I would say that it's better if we do not predict for that and do not have negativity, because you see there is a very importance of having positive mindset even if you get infected through COVID. To be very honest, it depends a lot how you are thinking and how you are taking. I read somewhere that COVID is not much in the environment, but it's much over here, and that's what is affecting people. So that's why I have a request that please don't ask me to do any predictions related to COVID, because I don't think that will be apt. And yeah, just let's go with the flow and let's pray, because praise and the manifestations work so much beyond anything else. So let's pray to the universe that all of us can pass through it healthy and stronger than before. Okay guys, so let's talk about this video. Now today's video is about the snapshot technique of how to predict what's your spouse's career. So as you all know, according to the Parashar system, there are certain techniques, and there are like a number of techniques, actually a number of placements that actually give a hint. Not specifically they are going to tell about the career, but they give a accurate hint about what profession the spouse of a native might have, right? But there's one snapshot technique that I have personally found very accurate with my predictions, and I have I guess I have predicted over what I think more than 20-30 charts. I've tested this technique on 20-30 married couples, and it has worked beautifully. Let me tell you, it has worked beautifully. So what you need to do is, first of all you need to know what is your dhara karka, okay? And you need to know what is the nakshatra of the dhara karka, right? Why? Because dhara karka is the karka for your spouse. If you do not know what is dhara karka is the planet with the lowest degree, and it's a part of Gemini astrology, right? So you have to take your dhara karka and you have to see in which nakshatra and how it is placed, in which house it is placed, and how its placement is, conjunction and house placement and aspect, Gemini aspects, okay? And the nakshatra. So first you have to analyze through this. And the second, where the magic comes in, basically, okay? So the magic is that second technique is, actually this is not second technique, both of these are used simultaneously. First you need to see your dharakarka, and secondly you need to open your Upapada Lagna. And if you guys do not know what is Upapada Lagna, I have already made a video. I'll share the link below. And this video is about how to find a Upapada Lagna and how to predict through Upapada Lagna, and what is Upapada Lagna. So Upapada Lagna is the Lagna that is derived from your own chart on the basis of 12th house placement, 12th house lord's placement actually. And through that you derive a ascendant which is used to predict as if that's the ascendant or the chart of your spouse. So what you need to do is you need to take this Upapada Lagna and see the condition of the 10th house and wherever the 10th lord is going. Okay, and this is the snapshot technique to see what profession a person's spouse is going to have. Okay, we have to always back up the predictions with the examples, of course. नहीं तो समझ कैसे आएगा, right? Okay, so for example, let me see what I can tell here. Okay, for example, I had a chart in my mind of a client of mine. So what was their placements, that the 10th house, in the 10th house, that particular individual's Upapada Lagna's 10th house has such placements that there was Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, in the nakshatra of Dhanishta, and the Lord was in the 12th house, Saturn and Ketu. So such a person's spouse was actually in interior designing and architecture. Now how did we predict that? That is because Jupiter is the knowledge, of course, and Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn. So this tells me that a person's spouse is going to be professional. That person is going to be out in public and working. That's more of a practical Jupiter, right? And particularly the nakshatra of Dhanishta denotes that either a person is in the real estate or a person is into construction. Actually, Purva Bhadrapada is more towards construction, but Dhanishta, with Dhanishta also I've seen people in architecture, in interior designing, in not interior decorator, I guess, yeah, not interior decorator, but interior designing, real estate, and I would say, yeah, architecture. Okay. So this tells me that a person will be somewhat related to Saturnian and Jupiter kind of profession. So Dhanishta shows me that it is related to either real estate or it is related to interior designing. Now what happens is that if this has to be real estate, then Saturn must have been in the 4th house, or it must have been in the 8th house. But here Saturn is in the 12th house, and 12th house and in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is naturally the sign of creativity, imagination, creative ideas, and isolation as well. So a person in isolation draws and put out a structure to things. So that's why the person's spouse was an interior designer. Now another example I would like to quote here is, that is also with Saturn. So this person's Upapada Lagna's 10th house was Taurus, and Saturn was there in the sign of Kritika, in the nakshatra of Kritika, and the sign Lord Venus was in the 8th house in the sign of Pisces. Right? And such an individual was into trading and manufacturing of sanitation, vanities, products, and stuff like that. Like we have all that faucets, designer faucets, all of that. So Saturn here being in Kritika is like a person more so into an in a position where they are at an authority, or they are working alone, right? Sorry, because Kritika is the nakshatra that is ruled by sun, and it is a nakshatra more so related with bureaucrats, hypocrites, and very critical people. Even lawyers have Kritika nakshatra. But here particularly, since Saturn was there, Saturn is the planet that denotes these iron material and all these toilet related products, sanitation products, because Saturn is what? Saturn is something, Saturn is related to underprivileged people, janitors, and all of such, right? The Lord is in the 8th house. 8th house is what? 8th house is transforming raw material into a finished product. And of course, Venus is there, then there has to be creativity. Okay, now next example I have in my mind is of an individual whose Upapada Lagna's 10th house placement was moon in the nakshatra of Vishakha towards the Scorpio side. And such an individual's spouse was a chef and had a very good skills with cutlery and cutting, all of that. And one more example I have in my mind is that there was a person whose Upapada Lagna's 10th house placement was Venus in the nakshatra of Chitra. And such an individual was a person who was into editing of music. And directly opposite to it was Mercury and Rahu, I guess. Yeah, Mercury, Rahu. Okay, so this is how we identify about the profession of the spouse, and this is a snapshot technique. So you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to see any other placements according to the birth chart or anything. Just do one thing. Just look where the Dharakarka is and what is its nakshatra. According to that, you'll know 50% of it, that what can be the career. And then what you have to do is you have to open Upapada Lagna. Just concentrate on the 10th house placements and 10th house lord. And one more thing you can do, you can also see second house placements as well, because second house of the Upapada Lagna will represent what is the income of your spouse. Where is the income generating from? So that also gives an idea about what profession or what area your partner will get their income from. But mostly why I don't personally use it completely, the second house placements, because sometimes people have multiple sources, multiple investments as well through which they are earning. Right? Sometimes they are earning through rental properties and stuff like that. So that's why in that case that can be a little confusing. So let's stick on this. Okay, so this was the technique. I hope it was helpful, and if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. Do let me know about if you're making predictions for yourself, or if you try this technique on anyone else's chart and what are the results. I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. And if you guys would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link below, www.anmolastrology.com, and under the consultation section you can book a personal reading for yourself. Okay, bye bye, thank you.